time traveler and the raptors. Dr. Adrian Kane wiped the sweat from his brow as he carefully brushed away the last layer of dirt. His team had packed up for the day, but he had stayed behind. He always did. Something about this dig site felt different. The fossils here weren't just bones, they told a story. His brush scraped against something solid. Adrian leaned closer and gasped. Beneath the earth lay two skeletons, one sleek and built for speed, the other larger and more robust, a Dakotaraptor and a Utahraptor. But that doesn't make sense, Adrian muttered. These species had lived in different regions. How had they ended up together? A sudden gust of wind roared through the canyon, and the ground beneath him trembled. The air crackled like a storm without lightning. Then, in the blink of an eye, the world shifted. The excavation site vanished. Adrian staggered backward. He was no longer in the Badlands. Towering ferns surrounded him, their emerald leaves swaying. The distant calls of creatures he had only read about filled the air. He was in the past. A rustling in the underbrush made Adrian freeze. His breath caught as a Dakotaraptor emerged, its golden eyes locked onto him. The raptor's feathered tail flicked, its claws tapping the ground. Then came another presence, a Utahraptor. Larger, more powerful. Its gaze was sharp, measuring both Adrian and the smaller raptor. Adrian barely had time to react before a deep, earth-shaking growl filled the jungle. The Titan had arrived. A Tyrannosaurus Rex crashed through the foliage, its blood-stained teeth glinting in the sunlight. The two raptors tensed. Adrian expected them to turn on each other in fear. But instead, they worked together. Dako darted forward, snapping at the T-Rex's legs, forcing it to shift its weight. Udo used the distraction, launching himself onto the predator's side, his claws tearing into its flesh. The massive dinosaur roared in fury but couldn't land a clean hit. The two raptors were too fast, too coordinated. Adrian watched in awe. They weren't rivals, they were allies. As the battle raged, a whispering voice echoed around Adrian. He turned and saw a shadowy figure, the Time Rift Guardian. "You do not belong here, Adrian Kane." Adrian stepped back. "Who? What are you?" "The past is delicate. You must return before you change what was never meant to be." "But I need to know the truth," Adrian protested. "These raptors, history says they were enemies, but they fought together." The Guardian's gaze darkened. "And now you understand. But knowledge comes with a price. Leave now or risk being trapped forever." The jungle blurred. Adrian felt himself being pulled away. The roars of the dinosaurs faded. Adrian gasped, his hands clutching the dirt of the Badlands once more. The excavation site was exactly as he had left it, but something was different. In his palm, he held a single feather, ancient, yet untouched by time. He stared at the Dakotaraptor and Utahraptor fossils before him, realization sinking in. They hadn't died as enemies, they had died as warriors, side by side. History had been wrong, and he was the only one who knew the truth.